In this video, let's talk about doing multiplication with scientific notation. And let's look specifically at problem 22 from the materials of checkpoint 5A. What you want to do when you multiply in scientific notation is use the commutative property to realize that you can multiply the number parts and you can multiply the exponent parts together. In other words, we're going to break it down into two problems. The exponent part, we just use the rule, we use the rule that says multiplying powers of the same base, we add the exponents. And then we have to figure out what the number part is. So we have to figure out 5.63 times 4. Well, I'll choose to show how to do that with lattice. You could stack, and we'll talk about calculators in a minute. Notice I'm going to write 4 as 4 point. I don't have to put the 0, but I do need the decimal point because that helps us with where the decimal point goes when we're done. If you don't like lattice multiplication, you don't have to do it. You can stack. 3 times 4 is 12. 6 times 4 is 24. 5 times 4 is 20. Multiply on the diagonals. Put the decimal point where it goes, and we get 22.52. Now, we're almost done, but not exactly, because this number breaks the rule for scientific notation. Numbers written in scientific notation, the number part has to be bigger than 1, smaller than 10. Let's repeat that. Has to be bigger than 1 and smaller than 10. 22.52 is clearly not smaller than 10. So we've got to write it as a number between those two numbers. So we write it as 2.252. Well, what do we have to do to 2.252 to turn it back to 22.52? We'd have to multiply by 10. So 10 to the first. And when we combine those exponents, we get 10 to the negative 12. Let's check to see if we did that right using a calculator. Scientific calculator, well, let's make it a bit bigger so that we can use it easier. So we need to multiply 5.63. Scientific notation, find the button with the two E's. It's in the bottom row. 5.63 times 10 to the negative 6 times 4, scientific notation button, 10 to the negative 7. Enter. Okay, we got the 2.25 business, but what about the decimal place? What about the scientific notation? So let's count decimal places and make sure we did it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. We feel good about our answer. 2.252 times 10 to the negative 12 was our answer, right? So we're good. You may have noticed the calculator wrote it in scientific notation in the very upper left corner here. Right there. Where'd that last 2 go? Why don't we see that last 2? Well, all calculators can only show so many decimal places, and the calculator just couldn't show us that last 2. In the next video in this series for Checkpoint 5A, we will talk about division in scientific notation.